it's Jenna and Ava. We're back after a hiatus, I guess you could say. Since the surgery, obviously I did post a little bit of our vacation footage, but since the surgery, we've been kind of enjoying time as a family. We took a couple trips. We've been just kind of getting into the groove of things. Now, obviously, in a one-year-old's life, because she did turn one, a few months can mean actually a lot as far as development. So since you last saw us, Ava has learned to crawl. She still, I think, ultimately is preferring army crawling for the speed aspect, because she can go really fast when she's army crawling. But yeah, she is definitely mobile. We have a small, like, mini set of stairs at our first level, and she likes to go up there. We're still convincing her that to go down, she needs to go feet first. She's also vocalizing a lot more. She's got a lot more teeth. She had, I think she has, like, actually 6 additional ones coming in, like molars and canines, and it is just crazy. Thankfully, for the most part, she's handling it all okay. Although, if you notice, she will almost always be chewing on something, oftentimes that being her fingers. So that is an Ava update. She is, I know, obviously the sound she could make post palate surgery are different. So we are getting some new noises, which is fun. We're still holding on and waiting for that, like, big one, which is for her to say dada, which she's not quite doing yet. Yeah, but we hear G's a lot with her. Yeah, we hear B's a lot with her. Yeah, and she's very communicative, so it's been really, really fun. Yes. The other thing we wanted to talk about today is that we have some big news as a family. So if you follow our Facebook and Instagram page, you will already know the news. But for our YouTube followers, you might not know yet, but I am pregnant. We are 13 weeks now. We just had our first trimester screening. And so we got to see the little bub in there, got to see the heartbeat and kind of take a more in-depth look around. I had some blood work taken, but we haven't gotten the results yet. But there are a lot of questions mainly, that come along with baby number 2, or like baby after PRS, I guess you could say. So I wanted to take some time and talk about, okay, so my mobile one wants to go play. We'll put her down and see if she wants to come back in a little bit. Yeah, you can come back when you want to. Okay. So I wanted to kind of just like talk a little bit about things like, what are the chances that our next baby might have PRS, and when are we going to find out? How are we going to know, etc. Okay, she's running the stairs, so I'm gonna go grab her and come right back. Okay, so the first thing I want to cover is likelihood that this next baby might have PRS, because I get that question a lot. So I'm gonna first say that I'm not 100% sure on all the genetic stuff. So early on with Ava, we did meet with a geneticist. Ava does not have any known genetic mutation, and therefore, as far as we know, neither does Dan. However, Ava and her dad both had PRS, which means there is some genetic component to it. So my understanding is it's kind of like, and I've said this before, how Ava got my nose and Dan's chin, right? So it's kind of like any baby we have, because Dan is the dad, has like a 50-50 chance of getting his chin. I know there are other things that go into genetics, like dominant traits, recessive traits. I'm not sure where our case of PRS falls with that. So there are some known genetic mutations, like Stickler syndrome, where the odds of passing along sticklers or PRS traits to go along with sticklers is going to be different numbers. And I know a lot of PRS cases, she's so mobile. So I know a lot of PRS cases were completely spontaneous, meaning like there was no history of it on the family and then it just showed up at birth. With those cases, my understanding, and I am not sure, but I think that the risk of having multiple cases in your family is actually pretty low. I think for us it's slightly different because Dan is the dad. That is just my understanding. So yes, long answer, yes, it's possible that this next baby could have PRS. When would we find out? So with Ava, we could see the small chin at her gender ultrasound at 20 weeks. So I'm assuming that we should be able to get a good look at the chin at 20 weeks and kind of get a feeling for, does it look pretty far back? Does it not? However, I don't actually think we're gonna know 100% until the baby is out because, as I've said before, you can't see a cleft palate on ultrasounds. It's just really hard to see that. So, hi. Did you want to talk? Okay. It's just really hard to see a cleft palate on an ultrasound. So we could look and think the chin seems fine, and then the baby would come out and still potentially have a cleft palate. You know, I'm not really sure, and if we get more information from doctors at our visits where they're saying like that's probably unlikely, I will try to share that information with you guys. But as you know, because I say it a lot, every case is different. And so if you have a baby with PRS or if you have PRS in your family, please make sure to talk to your doctor about what they think your likelihood is to have it again. Now, genetics is weird because like it's possible that all our children could have it. It's possible that we would never have to deal with it again. We had the first trimester screening. I don't know if it's typical, if it's because we got referred, in part because we asked for it, and in part because of Ava's history. But we were able to get like a more in-depth ultrasound this last week, and I am optimistically hopeful just based on what my uneducated viewing of what it looked like the chin looked like. So I am hopeful that the chin grows and is normal, and his baby could be born without PRS. Sorry, if you hear the noise, it's Ava playing on the floor. I have very mixed feelings, actually, is what I've noticed. Is on one hand, it would be so overwhelming to have another case of PRS, especially with a baby so close in age, because Ava will be about 20 months, so not quite 2 when our baby is born, because we're due in February. And if the baby needed to be in NICU for a while, or if there were surgeries of some sort, to also have a young child at home would be just more complicated. I know that there are brave moms out there who've had to do that. And like I said, not impossible, just more complicated. But in some ways, because Ava is my only experience with having a baby, in some ways, at least that's a known path. And that sounds really weird because obviously, ultimately, that I would prefer not to have another baby with PRS, just because it's a long first year, as you've kind of seen if you've been following our vlog. But it would be a familiar path too. Like, for instance, I know how to pump now. I know how to exclusively pump now. However, I have no idea how to breastfeed. So if I have a quote unquote normal, healthy child, I'm gonna be like a first time parent again. I don't know what I'm doing. And so there are aspects of that which are also kind of in a strange way overwhelming to me. And oddly, I didn't feel overwhelmed with the idea of breastfeeding before Ava, but now that I have other mom friends and I know that breastfeeding doesn't always go super easy. Like, obviously, I know that there are very special perks that go along with it, so it's also exciting, but I also am like, I don't know what I'm doing. So there are going to be challenges, I think, either way. Plus, you never know, even if they don't see anything on the ultrasounds, what's going to happen. Like, there are babies that don't have PRS that still need to be in the NICU. Like, there are babies that are born premature and then they have other complications. So at this point, obviously we were still early in the pregnancy. I'm trying to just, you want to come back up? Oh, you found your shark. Ha. At this point in the pregnancy, I'm just trying to take things as it comes, and I'm really trying to be mindful to enjoy everything this time around, because we had so many scares with Ava, like good news, bad news things throughout her pregnancy, that I didn't ever really feel like I could enjoy it. So I'm trying to do that this time. However, like, obviously it kind of depends on the news we get and what kind of processing I'll have to do as we move forward. Obviously I have this wiggle worm here, so I'm gonna have to sign off and make sure that she can get some good crawling around time. Can you still see her here? But before I signed off, I wanted to say thank you so much to all the people that wished us congratulations. We are so excited. I think Ava is going to be a fantastic big sister, and there are so many things in life that are coming up for us that I'm excited, whatever that outcome looks like, I think this is meant to be for our family. And so, yay! I'm going to do my best to get back to having weekly vlogs. However, for those of you who have been pregnant before or had young kids before, you know that sometimes it is very difficult. So I will do my best to keep updated and keep posting. If I disappear for a couple weeks, I will be back soon. So if you have any additional questions that I can answer for you, make sure you post them in the comments, because I do respond to all of those comments. And then I'll keep in touch, and thank you guys so much. All right, Ava, you ready to say bye-bye? Look at her. She went on everything. I told you, it's the 16th. Can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Okay, back to the shark. Okay.